Hello students, today we start the new concept, that is new chapter, hyperbola. Already we discussed the two conics, one is parabola and other one is ellipse. So this is the third conic, hyperbola. So when you are saying a conic is said to be hyperbola, what is its standard form? What are the properties of standard form of hyperbola? All these things today we discuss. So the topic is here hyperbola. Now when you are saying a conic is said to be hyperbola, if the eccentricity of the conic is more than 1, then we say that the conic is called a hyperbola. So the eccentricity is greater than 1, then we say that conic is called hyperbola. What is meant by eccentricity? The ratio of the SP and PM, where SP is the distance from focus, that is fixed point, to the variable point P, and PM is the perpendicular distance from the same variable point P to your corresponding directrix. So your ratio SP by PM is greater than 1, we say that conic is hyperbola. If SP by PM is equals to 1, what is your conic? Parabola. Less than 1, ellipse. Here greater than 1, the conic is called a hyperbola. So this is the fixed point S, that is focus. It is the fixed line, that is directrix. It is in the same plane of focus S, not passing through S. This is L, say. Now this is the point P which moves in the plane, so that the distance SP and this is the perpendicular distance PM. Perpendicular distance PM, the ratio is always more than 1. So the SP distance is always more than this perpendicular distance. Then if you move on this plane, we get some locus. That locus is called a hyperbola. Therefore, eccentricity E is defined as SP by PM, that must and should be greater than 1 here. Then the locus of P is hyperbola. So suppose P is here. Now find the distance SP and find the perpendicular distance PM. SP by PM is greater than 1. You collect all such type of points, you get some locus. That locus is called hyperbola. Similarly, after getting the standard form, the curve is symmetric about y-axis also. Directrix another focus and another directrix, as well as we have seen in that ellipse chapter also. Okay, therefore the locus of point which moves in the plane, so that its distance from fixed point bears a constant ratio to its distance from fixed line, that is SP by PM. If it is more than 1, then we say that conic is called what? Hyperbola. So we have SP by PM which is greater than 1. That is the definition of the hyperbola. Next one, L is the semi-lattice rectum of hyperbola. L is what? Semi-lattice rectum. What is meant by lattice rectum? The focal chord perpendicular to axis is called lattice rectum, and D is equals to perpendicular distance from focus to directrix. Perpendicular distance from focus to directrix. You can find that one also. Then the ratio L by D gives what? Eccentricity. L by D equal to E, that must and should be what? Greater than 1. Then your conic is a hyperbola. So L by D greater than 1, we mean L greater than D. So if L greater than D, your conic is what? Hyperbola. If L is equal to D, your conic is parabola. If L less than D, your conic is an ellipse. So this is the way of distinguishing of the conics by using semi-latus rectum and the perpendicular distance from focus to the directrix. Okay. Next one. Now the general second degree equation ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0 represents a hyperbola if delta not equal to 0, delta not equal to 0 and h square greater than ab. This is the condition. Now if delta is equal to 0, what happened? That becomes pair of straight lines. That is why your delta not equal to 0. What is delta? Delta is equals to ABC plus 2FGH minus AF square minus BG square minus CH square, never 0. And H square must and should be greater than AB. Then the general second degree equation represents a hyperbola. Okay. Now let us derive the standard equation of hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1, where b square is equals to a square into e square minus 1. So the derivation is same as the derivation of the standard equation of ellipse. What is that? X square by a square plus y square by b square is equals to 1, where b square equal to a square into 1 minus e square there. So both the derivations are very similar. So let us try to derive this one also. First of all, we draw the shape of the hyperbola to convenience for you. So the equation x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1 as shown in this figure. This is x-axis, this is your y-axis, their point of intersection is origin. The shape of the hyperbola is in this manner. It has two symmetrical branches and the curve is open. Why it has two symmetrical branches, why it is open, let us do in the properties of that x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. Now these are its corresponding foci. Because the curve is symmetric about y-axis also, therefore there exists another focus and another directrix as well as in the ellipse form. This is one focus, this is the another focus S dash. These are the corresponding directrix S, L and L dash respectively. And this is the point of intersection of the coordinate axis, x-axis and y-axis. This is your y-axis and it is your x-axis. This is the origin, say C. Now let us try to derive this one. X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. So first we construct the hyperbola. For that what we need? One focus and directrix. Its corresponding directrix must and should be known to you. So let us be the fixed point, that is focus, and L is a fixed line in the same plane called directrix, not passing through the focus S. So S is focus and L is directrix. Draw a line SZ perpendicular from focus to directrix L. So we are drawing a line which is passing through focus and perpendicular to this directrix L. Now we choose 2 points A comma A dash. This is the point A. This is the point A dash. Let A comma A dash be 2 points on line joining of SZ such that A divides SZ in the ratio E is to 1. In the same manner A dash divides the line joining of SZ in the ratio E is to 1, but A internally and A dash externally as shown in the figure. That means SA by AZ is equals to SA by AZ is equals to SA dash by A dash Z is equals to E by 1. So clearly by definition of the hyperbola, both points A and A dash lies on my hyperbola. So this is the structure of the hyperbola. From the construction, A and A dash lies on your hyperbola. Now let C be the midpoint of A dash. Let C be midpoint of A dash. Midpoint of A dash such that CA is equals to CA dash is equal to small a. CA is equal to CA dash equal to small a. Now choose C as origin and the line CS as x-axis. Choose C as origin and the line CS as x-axis. Then the line passing through C perpendicular to CS is y-axis. So what is your C? Origin. We are choosing C as origin and this one as x-axis. Then automatically it becomes y-axis. Understand? Now we have the condition. SA by AZ is equals to what? E. SA by AZ equal to E means SA is equals to E into AZ. This is the equation number 1. Again, SA dash is what? SA dash is equal to E into A dash Z. This is equation number 2. Our target is you have to find out the coordinates of focus S and the equation of directrix L. Then your job is over. By once if you know the focus and directrix, you can take any point on the conic and apply the definition SP by PM is equals to E. We obtain the equation. That is your intention. So on construction itself, you have to achieve the coordinates of focus S and the equation of directrix L. It is your target. So to achieve these two things, we have the condition in this manner. SA is equal to E into AZ. SA dash is equal to E into A dash Z. Now adding these two equations, first of all adding these two equations, what happened? SA plus SA dash is equal to E into AZ plus A dash Z. AZ plus A dash Z. SA plus SA dash. See here, this is SA, this is SA dash. Leave this one. Now AZ plus A dash Z. See here, this is AZ and this is A dash Z. Clearly AZ plus A dash Z is nothing but A dash. So you write instead of AZ plus A dash Z by A dash. From figure itself, that is A dash. Now SA and SA dash can be written in terms of C, because we are doing all these things for to get the coordinates of S and equation of directrix L. Now SA, what is SA? The distance from here to here. You write in terms of C, that is CS minus CA. CS minus CA plus SA dash. This is SA dash. It is nothing but what? CS plus CA dash. CS plus CA dash. So after writing A dash, the remaining terms should be written in terms of C. So CA is equal to CA dash is equal to A we are taken here. Therefore CA dash gets cancelled. We have 2CS is equal to E times of A dash. Implies 2 times of CS is equals to E times of A dash, we mean 2A. CA plus CA dash, that is nothing but A dash, that is you have A plus A, we have 2A. So 2 gets cancelled, so we have CS is equals to AE. So the distance from C to S is obtained as AE. This is the distance AE. In the same manner about the ellipse. So CS is equal to AE. Can you write the coordinates of S or not? Yes. The coordinates of S are AE comma 0. You have the coordinates of S, they are AE comma 0. Similarly, subtract one from another. SA dash minus SA. SA dash minus SA is equal to E times of A dash Z minus AZ. A dash Z minus AZ. So SA dash minus SA, this is SA dash and this is SA. SA dash minus SA becomes what? A dash. So here we have A dash. E times of, now write A dash Z and AZ in terms of C. A dash Z is there. Where is A dash Z? This is A dash, this is Z. A dash Z. In terms of C, you have to write CA dash plus CZ. CA dash plus CZ minus of AZ. Where is AZ? This is AZ. The distance from A to Z. This is AZ. We have to write in terms of C. CA minus CZ. This is CA minus CZ. You have to write. So CA is equal to CA dash equal to A. Both will be cancelled. A dash is nothing but 2A. The distance from here to here. We have chosen CA is equal to CA dash is equal to small a. Therefore A dash equal to 2A. E times of CZ. So CZ is equals to, this is A, this is 2CZ. 2 gets cancelled. Implies CZ is equals to A by E. So the distance from C to Z is A by E. Because E greater than 1 here, AE is more than A by E. So this is the distance from here to here, A by E. This is the line parallel to y-axis and it is the right side to the y-axis which is at a distance A by E. So the equation of directrix is chosen as x is equals to A by E. So your directrix equation is x equal to A by E and the coordinates of focus S are AE comma 0. Okay. Once if you have the focus and the equation of directrix, can you derive the equation of hyperbola or not? Yes, you can write. What is E? E is the eccentricity of your hyperbola. So let Px1 comma y1 be any point on hyperbola. By definition, SP by Pm is equals to E. We have the focus and directrix. So this is the entire thing only for the construction of focus, the coordinates of focus and the equation of directrix. Once if you have the coordinates of focus and equation of the directrix, we can derive the equation of the hyperbola by using the definition SP by Pm is equals to E. Okay, let us try to derivation. So this is A here, this is A dash, this is your C, this is L, this is your L dash. We have the coordinates of focus are AE comma 0 and directrix is x is equal to A by E. We mean Ex minus A equal to 0. Let P x1 comma y1 be any point on hyperbola. Therefore by definition SP by Pm is equals to E. So we have the focus S is equals to what? AE comma 0. Directrix L equal to Ex minus A equal to 0. It is the equation of directrix. These are the coordinates of the focus S. Let Px1 comma y1 be any point on hyperbola. Px1 comma y1 be any point on hyperbola. Therefore by definition SP by Pm is equals to E implies SP square is equals to E square into Pm square. We have SP square is equals to E square into Pm square. That means x1 minus AE whole square plus y1 minus 0 whole square. Y1 minus 0 whole square is equals to E square times of Pm square. That means Ex1 minus A by root of E square plus 0 whole square is there. Now this E square and E square gets cancelled. Root E square means E, whole square is also there, that's cancelled. Implies you have x1 minus AE whole square plus y1 square is equals to Ex1 minus A whole square is there. Implies you can expand this one and convert that into the form of x square by A square minus y square by B square is equals to 1. So we have x1 square plus A square E square minus 2AE x1 plus y1 square is equals to E square x1 square plus A square minus 2AE x1. Minus 2AE x1 minus 2AE x1 gets cancelled. This is the equation, that is the condition. Now all of you know that e is greater than 1, so you write e square minus 1 as common. Here is e square x1 square. Take that x1 square to the right side, we get e square minus 1 times of x1 square. So take that y1 square to the right side, we get minus y1 square is equals to, here is a square e square. Take that a square to the left side, we have a square into e square minus 1. We have a square into e square minus 1. And dividing on both sides by a square into e square minus 1, we get x1 square by a square minus y1 square by a square into e square minus 1, that is equals to 1. So choose a square into e square minus 1 as b square. Clearly it is positive. Since e greater than 1, e square minus 1 is positive. Therefore we have x1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square equal to 1. x1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square is equal to 1, where b square is a square into e square minus 1. Therefore the locus of x1 comma y1 is, locus of x1 comma y1 is what, my dears? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. This is the standard equation of the hyperbola. So the procedure is same as in the derivation of the ellipse, like that. But your ellipse is in this manner. This is your ellipse. Their foci will be inside to the ellipse and directrix are outside. So these are the directrix. These may be foci. S dash S, like that. So this is the different story. Entire reverse here. The hyperbola branch will be like that. Okay, it has two symmetrical branches. Why it has two symmetrical branches? Let us discuss. This is the way to derive the standard equation of the hyperbola. Its equation is what, my dears? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. It is very easy to write the diagram. So these are the coordinate axes. So your branch, there are two branches and these are the corresponding directrix. These are the corresponding foci. This is S and S dash, L, L dash. This is L, it must be L dash. So this is focus, its corresponding directrix is L. This is another focus, its corresponding directrix is L dash. So this is the standard equation of the hyperbola. This is your x-axis, this is y-axis. Right. So let us try to do the properties of the standard equation of hyperbola. X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Okay. That is the center of the hyperbola. Now properties of standard form of the hyperbola. Already we discussed the ellipse, properties of standard form of ellipse. Now let us see the properties of standard form of hyperbola. What is the standard equation of hyperbola? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Its equation is what? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Okay. So the curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. First property is what? The curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. Why it is symmetric about both x and y axis? If x comma y lies on hyperbola, x comma y lies on hyperbola, x comma minus y minus x comma y minus x comma minus y lies on your hyperbola. Since its equation is what? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. So the curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. All of you know the diagram. This is the curve. So it is symmetric about both x and y axis. Due to if you have a 1 point on the hyperbola and the corresponding 3 points on the 3 quadrants also lies on your hyperbola. Therefore the curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. Next one, the curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. Since the curve is symmetric about y-axis also, there exists another focus minus AE comma 0 and another directrix x is equals to minus A by E. We have the another focus. Already we have the focus S is equals to what? AE comma 0. Another focus is what? S dash is equal to minus AE comma 0. We have the directrix x is equals to A by E. Another directrix is what? X is equals to minus A by E. So focus S is AE comma 0 and S dash is minus AE comma 0. X equal to A by E is one directrix. There exists another directrix since the curve is symmetric about y-axis also. Okay. Next one. X-axis meets the curve at A comma 0 and A dash minus A comma 0. A dash is called transverse axis of the hyperbola. So you have hyperbola in this manner. This is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. What is your equation of hyperbola? X square by A square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. We are solving with x-axis, that is put y equal to 0. We have x square by a square is equals to 1 implies x is equals to plus or minus a. So the line, this is the line A dash intersects the hyperbola at 2 points a comma 0 and a dash minus a comma 0. Therefore we take a dash as transverse axis. The point of intersections with the axis to the curve are called vertices. Therefore these are the vertices. A comma 0, a dash minus a comma 0 are the vertices, and the distance a dash is called transverse axis. In our ellipse that is called major axis. Here it is called transverse axis. This is the next property. A is a comma 0 one vertex, a dash is your another vertex, that is minus a comma 0, and that length is taken as the transverse axis of your hyperbola. This is your main axis. Understand? It never intersects the y-axis. Your equation is what? X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. Why it never intersects y-axis? What is the equation of y-axis? X equal to 0. Put x equal to 0 here, what happened? Minus y square by b square equal to 1. So y square is what? Minus b square. Immediately y is imaginary. Therefore, the y-axis never intersects your curve. That is why it is outside to both the branches. So only the x-axis is intersect your curve at 2 points a and a dash. These are called the vertices of the hyperbola, and a dash is called transverse axis. Okay. Even though if you take, there are 2 points on y-axis which are at distances from B, from origin. So this is 0 comma B, this is 0 comma minus B. Now this BB dash is called conjugate axis. Even though the curve never intersects the y-axis, you choose 2 points on y-axis which are at distances B from origin. So we take that one B, and this is B, B dash, 0 comma B, 0 comma minus B are called the ends of the conjugate axis. This is BB dash is called conjugate axis. BB dash is called what? Conjugate axis. A dash is called what? Transverse axis. Understand? So B is equal to 0 comma B, B dash equal to 0 comma minus B are 2 points on y-axis which are at a distance B from the origin. Then BB dash is called what? Conjugate axis. So we have 2 axes here also. One is called transverse axis, other one is conjugate axis. Again, the curve is open and having 2 symmetrical branches. Why it is open? We have x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. Now y square by b square is nothing but what? X square by a square minus 1. Y equal to plus or minus b by a into root of x square minus a square. Y is real for x square minus a square must and should be greater than or equal to 0. That means x plus a into x minus a should be greater than 0. Therefore, what about your x? X belongs to minus infinity to minus a union a to infinity. That means there is no curve lies between x is equal to plus or minus a. That is why we have the curve in this manner. This is a comma 0, this is minus a comma 0, the curve like that. Therefore, there is no curve lies between these two lines. There is no curve lies between the two lines x equal to a and x equal to minus a. And again, the x ranges from, x takes the values from a to infinity and minus a to minus infinity. As x increases from a to infinity, as x increases from a to infinity, your y values are what? When x is equals to a, your y is 0. As x increases, your y also tends to infinity. Both the values of y tends to infinity numerically. If it is plus infinity, automatically it is minus infinity. Both the values are increases from 0 comma 0, 0 to infinity numerically. Therefore, the curve is open. Therefore, the curve is open and having two symmetrical branches as shown in this figure like that. So, as x increases from minus a to minus infinity, in the same manner both the values of y are increasing 0 to infinity numerically. Therefore, if it is the curve, automatically this is also the another branch. Both are symmetrical branches. Both are mirror images with respect to y-axis as shown in this figure. Understand? Okay. These are the properties. We will see the some more properties in the next class. Thank you very much.